Hello everyone, welcome to next session. In this session, we will understand how to make the mappings permanent or make the mappings persistent. Right. So now we have already configured our first step. So let's run it first. So now when I will run this, so this stuff will be stored as mapping. So where this will be stored? This will be stored in the memory itself, right? So that is not persistent. That is not permanent. When you will stop the server, this mapping will be flushed from the memory, and it will Wiremock will not be able to respond back. Let's see that. So now let's go here and let's see. So now as you can see, we are able to get back the expected response. So this was already working fine. Now what we need to do is we need to remove this. So I have restarted the server so that it can load the changes. And now what we will do is once this is started, we will check what is the response we are getting back. So I'm sending the, so it is showing no response could be served as there are no stub mapping in this Wiremock instance, right? So we are not having any mapping in the Wiremock instance, so that's why it is showing this response. So this is the default response when there are no mappings in the Wiremock, but there can be a case when we have multiple mappings but this particular mapping is not there in the Wiremock, right? So in that case we will get a different default response. It will that I will show you in few minutes. So now our context here is how we can make this work. Even when we are not writing the code here, we make, so I don't want to write the code here. I just may want to, once I have written the code, I just want to make this mapping permanent. So how I can do it? So let's understand that. So this is your first step. So you need to use the save all mappings method from the Wiremock client class, right? So what this method will do is it will save all the mappings in the mappings directory, whatever mappings are there before you run this method, right? So that's how it works. So let's understand that. Let's try that. So I have restarted the server, and now since as you can see in mappings we don't have anything as of now, and now the core so it has started. Let's reload this. So now as you can see, this mapping is stored here in the inner physical drive. So let's open this. So this is the format of Wiremock Wiremock mapping format. We will understand this when we will discuss the admin API, but this is quite straightforward. So it is matching the URL for the request. These are the parameters which you need to buy. Method should be get, and it should be this should be resource URI, and this is the response which is sent back with body file name is also mentioned. Everything is picked up from here, right? Now let's see if it is working. So as you can see, it is working fine. Why? Because we have mapping on both hand, here also and here also. Now what we will do is we will remove this mapping, because that was our context, right? Why we are saving the mappings? Because I don't want to so I suppose my server is running and I just want to take the mapping from here itself, right? I don't want to write the code again and again. And also it's quite useful. Suppose you have around 20 or 40 or 100 stubs, right? You can easily save the use this method and save it at once. All the mappings will be stored in this mappings directory, and you can share this mapping directory with anyone those are running any, suppose the local instance they're running, or any other team you have to they want to use Wiremock mappings. They want to understand how it works, so you can simply paste these mappings there in the mappings directory in their Wiremock instance. It will start working, right? Now let's restart the server. Now we have removed the mapping from here. So the server has stopped and now it will start again, right? Now so now the server has started. So let's go here and see if this is working fine or not. So now also it is working fine. But if you remember, when we tried it, when we were not using the save all mappings, it was not working. Why? Because it is removed from the code itself. The stub for mapping is removed from the code itself. But now we have the manual mapping here. These are also called manual mapping. This is also a way of using the Wiremock standalone instance, which we have discussed earlier, right? So that's how save all mapping is quite useful Wiremock feature. So I think so you all are clear. Let's move to our next session.